that it's the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. Welcome everybody to the British Grand Prix for MotoGP, and it looks to be an absolute beautiful day. Can't wait to get started. We're here for the championship round 12 of the season as well, and after a great couple of races in Austria, we're ready for a change around, which is great news as well. Let's get straight into it then and take a look at what happened in the combined practice times. So we start off with two very big accidents as well. The first of all, Marc Marquez in the practice session as well had a very unusual off as well. 170 miles an hour in the second practice session, off, losing the front end of his bike and sliding at Maggott and Beckett, barrel rolling as well. Very bizarre accident, very strange accident, very big accident as well. Luckily, Marc is okay. Then his brother, Alex Marquez, did exactly the same thing in free practice number 2. And then Pol Espargaro also going down with a big accident. So Honda not having a great time in the front end of the conditions out there on the track. So watch out for that one going forward. A few other riders going off and just sliding off as well. Alex Rins had a little bit of an off as well. And after feeling unfit on his return here to Silverstone on the Aprilia, Lorenzo Savadori will take no further part in the weekend. He didn't qualify after feeling dizzy as well after the first few practice sessions. In terms of the combined times, as you can see, Jack Miller was the man to beat on the Ducati, topping the fastest times as well. Everybody saying their times in practice 3 fastest of all, bar Quartararo, Enea Bastianini, Jake Dixon and Lorenzo Savadori. Let's just throw in as well Jake Dixon on his debut in MotoGP for the Moto2 class as well, looking quite good and going up. They're getting quicker and quicker on that Petronas Yamaha SRT after the Petronas Yamaha team as well will no longer continue under that name. It will be a new brand for next year. The Sepang racing side of it is stepping away from the team, but the management, the riders, all staying in place on a new entity. Sepang just stepping away on their own. For Carl Crutchlow, on the factory Yamaha M1 as well, he's having a great weekend and a great race as well. So it's all looking good around the board. But it is Miller, Quartararo, Aleix Espargaro, Jorge Martin and Bagnaia the top 5. Then Pol Espargaro, Valentino Rossi, Johan Mir, Brad Binder, Marc Marquez rounding out the top 10. They're the top 10 going through into qualifying 2 straight away. Dropping down, Zarco, Nakagami, Crutchlow, Marquez, Alex that is, Rins, Lucanoa, Petrucci, Bastianini, Marini, back up there ahead of Bastianini, Oliveira, Dixon and Savadori. In terms of free practice for the last half hour, the riders got to head out to the track. It was Fabio Quartararo who went fastest of all on a 2-minute lap time as well. Nobody doing a sub 1-minute lap time in the 4th practice session, which I found very bizarre. Pol Espargaro right up there. He was looking on form on the Saturday as well in the practice sessions. But Quartararo and Espargaro looks to be the one for pole. Bagnaia holding back in 3rd place as well. Then Marquez in P4 as well. All just hanging around a little bit in the top there as well. Great job from Crutchlow to go P12. He's getting used to that bike a lot quicker. Expect good things from him in the race. The same thing for Jake Dixon down in 20th place as well. On to qualifying then, and as always, let's go through back to front and how the starting grid looks. 21st on the 7th row of the grid, Jake Dixon qualifying last. That wasn't really much of a surprise in his debut weekend. Further back, Miguel Oliveira is 20th and Carl Crutchlow 19th as well on the Yamaha M1 after being 12th at FP4. He struggled to get through into the next part of qualifying as well and ended up down in P19. The 6th row sees Aiki Lucanoa, Alex Marquez and Daniel Petrucci. Row 5, Takiki Nakagami, Luca Marini and Enea Bastianini. They are the drivers failing to get through as well down on the deck. Further along as well, up the order, we can see, if my monitor's right, yes, here we go, P4, the 4th row, Brad Binder starts P12, Johan Mir starts 11th, and Alex Rins starts 10th. The 3rd row, Johan Zarco, Valentino Rossi inside the top 10 on that Petronas Yamaha. Big yes, big yes, he does love that circuit. I'm going to have to switch to my headset. A big yes as well. He absolutely loves this circuit as well, does Valentino Rossi. So he starts P8 on the grid as well. Jack Miller starts in P7 as well on the inside of the third row of the grid. The second row of the grid, this is where it all starts to heat up as well. Aleix Espargaro starts in P6. Marc Marquez P5. Jorge Martin starts fourth on the grid. He did qualify on pole position, but he had his lap time deleted for exceeding the track limits as well. That left the front row looking like this. Fabio Quartararo starts third as well. Francesco Bagnaia starts second on the grid, but it's Pol Espargaro who has pole position here for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. An absolute masterclass for him as well. He swept through the board, started P2, got elevated to P1. Beautiful chef's kiss. Great one. Okay, it's time to cross over to the commentary as well, with Megan Birch about to step in here for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Stand well back, turn your collars up. It's the British Grand Prix. Oh, to be at Silverstone, now that August is here. It's the last weekend in August. It's all ready to go for this amazing British Grand Prix. The bikes have just headed off on the parade lap from the new sort of Turn 1 area here of the British Grand Prix area. They, of course, from MotoGP, run all the way from Maggots all the way down to Beckett's and Chapel. They do the opposite side. Alongside me in the commentary box is Megan Birch. Megan, we are in for a great race here. So much to look forward to. So much drama as well. But Pol Espargaro on pole position. We've got Cal Crutchlow on the factory M1. He's going to be replaced by Franco Morbidelli, who moves over from the SRT. Andrea Dovizioso is coming back on the SRT team to partner Valentino Rossi from Mazzano. But in that seat at the moment, it's Jake Dixon, another Brit. We are in for a classic today, don't you think, Megs?
We are, and when has Pol Espargaro ever been on pole before?
He has never, according to these notes here in my commentary. He's had two previous pole positions since his debut in Qatar 2014. He's never ever had a race win though, is what I'm looking at in my notes. He could do that here today and take a victory. He's at a podium, only one though, but he is the first Honda rider, bar Marc Marquez,
Best finish.
to
that was
have
third.
Yeah.
Even if he gets second, that's a good thing.
There's the championship look. Quartararo leads by 47 points to Bagnaia and Mia. 49 points back is Zarco. Whatever happens today, Quartararo will leave here as the championship leader. Unlike Formula One, where the live stream gets underway in half hour's time for the pre-show as well, it is beautiful conditions here at Silverstone as well. 20 lap race, a 2-minute lap. Should take around about 40 minutes as well. 67,000 British fans in attendance. Quite a lot of them here have turned the campsite yellow to support Valentino Rossi in his last ever race at Silverstone. He won his first race here in the Premier Class in Great Britain in back in the early in the late 90s, 1997. It's going to be unforgettable. It's going to be weird to see him go, isn't it? After this one,
it will definitely be very, very strange.
Yeah.
I just looked at the track. Why did it look kind of wet?
It's dry. It's just the cloud cover that's been over the UK so far this weekend. For the first time since 2019, we are going to get underway for the British Grand Prix. The pandemic stopped it in 2020. It's time for revs to rise. Stand well back, turn your colours up. It's the British Grand Prix. Lights out at Silverstone. Bagnaia. Bumps, bumps, bumps. Pole gets a good start and leads it towards turn 1. Marc Marquez trying to go around the outside. Quartararo's gone to second place. Cross your fingers, they're all going to get through safely. Looks like they have as they hurtle downhill now towards Maggots and Beckett's complex for the first time. No one's gone off, and it's Pol Espargaro leading the way at the moment from Fabio Quartararo. Nakagami's past Mir as well. Oliveira and Bastianini, Lucanoa and Petrucci battling in the mid-pack, and Aleix Espargaro is up into third place, and he's going to have the challenge on the 1 Yamaha down the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner, and it's a Spargaro 1-2 as Bagnaia looks to the inside. Can he get through? Yes. Bagnaia goes to second. Bow and a little wide there. Johan Zarco wide at Stowe Corner as he comes down to Vale. Aleix goes back up the inside of Bagnaia. Can he get it stopped into the Vale chicane? Bagnaia sends it round. He should have the clutch back as Quartararo makes contact with Jorge Martin. Down goes Marquez and down goes Jorge Martin. Oh, well, that's a Sector 2 off as well. They came together. The second race running, Marquez crashes out at Silverstone.
That was dramatic, but also Olivier was doing really, really bad, let's just say. I mean, apart from Martin and Marquez going down, he was last. Right, so it's obviously now a yellow flag in Sector 2. Both riders seem to be...
I think they're both out if the bikes have stalled. Marquez trying to bump start, but that's his day gone. Well, that's his day gone as we're still on the first lap. It's Pol Espargaro leading, maybe the number one Honda at the moment, it looks like, as they continue down towards into Brooklands once again. And Aleix Espargaro dies on the inside of Francesco Bagnaia. It's a 1-2 here at the British Grand Prix for the Espargaro brothers. That's what you like to see. Bagnaia trying to fall back. Crutchlow was in the middle of that one. But Martin and Marquez looked like to be out of the race fully.
I've got to say, their parents must be just like jumping up for joy right now, just like, do you see, they're both first and second.
And it's a factory Honda, of course. Martin has rejoined the race. Here he is now, look. So Jorge Martin has rejoined the race. Marc Marquez still can't get that engaged.
Come on, Marc.
And honestly, that's the second race running. Marquez has just sort of binned it in towards one of the corners. Did it in the wet in Austria. Now he's done it here in the dry at Silverstone. Yellow still out Sector 2 for Marquez. We won't need a red flag it, which is great news. We can continue under with green flag conditions. I suppose we should actually put the yellow flag out on the timing monitor since we've got it as well. Let's take a replay, Megan, of how it happened. Right. This is into Stowe Corner, so it's a while yet.
They just got caught.
Is this? Oh, there's a touch at the exit of Stowe. Martin dives at the inside, and that just bumps him out. And here comes Marquez once again, look.
I think it was just like a racing incident, maybe.
No, I'm not too sure. No,
yeah,
yes.
It was Marquez both times accidentally. It was just like they were trying to go up on the inside. And then
Martin went too deep in. Martin's entered the pit, so he's out. Martin went too deep onto the corners, flicked back up. Marquez went there because he had nowhere else to go, and they just sort of ran into each other. A complete racing incident then between the two, but it's brought them both down. So it's Aleix Espargaro in second place. Brother Pol leads. Younger Espargaro leads older Espargaro from Bagnaia and Quartararo. The championship lead now closing ever so slightly. What was 47 points now becomes 43 points at the current moment. How long's that going to last as we head down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands once again? Dropping all the way down a second gear corner as well. Pol now leads Aleix, and what happens if the two brothers crash? I don't know. As it looks
carnage.
Carnage probably. Fight at family dinner. Hello to, she's changed the name again. Jats Du Verstappen. So is that Doohan? Because
very clever, Beth.
Because we had Doohan win the race this morning in the Formula 3. Jorge's down, yeah. Jorge Martin's down on the deck, so is Marc Marquez. Pol Espargaro then, Megs, fastest lap, 2:01. No, Aleix Espargaro, a 2 minute 7:2. And I'm just having a look. Yeah, so it is a 2:07.772 by Aleix Espargaro, which is the fastest lap. The lap record here is a 1:59.963. That was set by Marc Marquez in the best race strategy back in 2019. However, the best pole lap here in the overall lap record is by Marquez back in 2019 as Aleix Espargaro goes for the lead at the inside of Stowe Corner, runs it wide. Pole gets the inside line and cuts back. So Aleix just trail braking in. Had to dive at the inside of a Pol, but Pol was just like, you're not having me today, brother, and goes back up the inside.
Like, how many times did you win game night?
Look at this, though. Look at the battle between Bagnaia and Quartararo. They're coming close together. To finish my point, the all-time lap record here is set by Marc Marquez, a 1:58.168. That's the fastest ever lap around this circuit, and that was set in pole in 2019. But the top speed already, Jack Miller here this year at 335.4 kilometres an hour, fastest ever speed. There goes Quartararo, diving up the inside of Bagnaia, down at turn 3 at Village. Now as we come into the loop, Bagnaia Bagnaia tries to hold it around the outside. It hasn't paid off. And Quattararo has taken third place away from Francesco Bagnaia. As another championship lead swings again. It's now 50 points.
F1 has a live video on for some reason. I don't know what the hell they would be going live with.
It's the pre-show. It's their own pre-show they do.
I've never seen that before.
24 minutes, our pre-show starts. Fingers crossed if it all works and we get our systems operational. So Paul Espargaro leads. Both him and Aleix Espargaro doing fastest first sector times, trading each other off as well. They're both doing 23.5. Everyone else is doing 23.6s.
I've got to say, it must be a really nice day for them.
It is. They're just leading at the front and they've already swapped positions once. Paul Espargaro, now Johan Mir, fastest lap. Johan Mir fast lap as Alex Marquez going to attack his teammate Sticky Nakagami, and he's done it. Alex Marquez up to 10th, down to 11th now is Nakagami, but Johan Mir with a 2-minute .647, fastest lap of the race so far. Beth says, I've missed a few rounds. Where is Alex Cavell still in the championship? Alex Cavell, not in the championship.
At all.
Not for a long time.
How many rounds? Do you mean years?
Yeah, probably years. Don't forget, if you're interested in the Formula One race, which many of us are, it is a wet race coming up at Spa next. It proves to be an all-time classic.
I saw earlier.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was like, that's basically like a puddle.
It's probably going to be a safety car start, probably be even a red flag at some point. So join us for that one, which might mean the last two British touring car races are somewhat delayed. For later on today. But right now we switch our attention to the front with Paul Espargaro leading Aleix Espargaro, and they've just got to hold it together as they come down in towards turn 3 at Village, into turn 13 at Village. It's all swapped around on this one. Quattararo looks to the inside, down to the loop. He goes side by side with the Aprilia, forces Aleix Espargaro to sit up, and Fabio Quattararo goes through to second position.
Don't split up the Espargaro, bro.
He's got the soft front tyre, and Paul Espargaro's got medium front, soft rear. Quattararo's got soft front, medium rear, and Aleix now dropping back as well as Bagnaia's got past him. So Aleix starting to drop back on those mediums.
I saw a little bit of contact between the two.
Yeah, there was a little bit of...
So maybe he's messed up something. Come on.
Just unsettled a little bit as Jack Miller and Johan Mir once again run together. Remember Qatar, they always have this little battle between each other as they come onto the start-finish straight. Aleix looking to the inside, coming into Cop's corner, light on the inside, late on the brace, and Aleix goes back to third ahead of Francesco Bagnaia. Nice little move up the inside there. Nice little... He just thought about it, just took it, and had a great move going on the inside. A nice run there, and that's Aleix back to third. But Fabio nearly dropped it. My God! The inside Maggett and Beckett's, the bike almost threw him high side, and his legs, both of them, came off the bike. How he stayed on, I don't know. He must be clenched between his thighs right now.
I want to know how he's still racing this good and he's still slightly injured.
I know. It's unbelievable, isn't it? After that
bike hit you.
After that accident yesterday in practice, which almost put him out of the weekend because the bike landed on him. His own M1 Yamaha landed on his ankles for Fabio Quattararo down at Vale Chicane as we come on to the Hamilton Straight. Before coming into the turn 11 on this track as well at Aintree. Beth saying as well, I won't even ask about Yajir Bay then. No, don't even bother. Side by side, Quattararo takes the lead at the British Grand Prix. Up the inside, coming through Farm Curve into Village. And Aleix Espargaro now going on Brother Pole. And backs out of it as well. Mia dives up the inside this time of, is that Jack Miller? Yes, it is, Jack Miller. So Suzuki's coming through, but Quattararo hits the frontier at the British Grand Prix on lap 5 of 20.
I really want Pole to win, so I'm not happy about that.
Well, he'll extend his championship lead regardless what happens here today as well. So
exactly, just let him win.
All eyes up front here. Megan, talk us through it. It was a nice slip up the inside.
Yeah, it was just very, smooth. I think it was also part of a problem maybe on Pole's front because he was going very, very slow into that corner, and it just allowed Quattararo to get up.
Loads of actions then coming through as they keep on attacking, keep on pushing. 15 laps to go here. We're 1/4 distance as well into this race, and Jack Miller's dropped down to P7. Mia and Rins have got back through on him, coming down the start-finish line, the National Straight, before coming into Copse Corner. So they've switched around a little bit more.
I didn't realise this was only so short. Why is there only 20 laps?
Because it's a 2-minute lap. So it's still 40 minutes long, but it's only 20 laps. It's the shortest race of the calendar, but it's also the longest track on the calendar, Silverstone. And there is Marc Marquez slamming the door, saying good night, Silverstone, as Aleix goes to the inside of Paul for second, down to the rail chicane. They're nearly coming together. Paul had to back out of that one. Now tries to go on the outside. Aleix says no thank you, not today. And he's through to second place. Paul down to third, but he's got a much better strategy later on in the race.
I bet it's just like, I want to be the first name on a Christmas card this year. I want to be.
I won the British Grand Prix. No, I won the British Grand Prix. Neither of you won the British Grand Prix if you keep doing
their
moves like
parents shaking
that.
their heads. Why are our children like this?
Shaking their heads, closing their eyes as well, I think would also be the factor there, because I think we can all work out the fact that it's a bit more of a dangerous situation. The pair of them at the moment, as it's still going on here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. There's a load more action to come.
For 11th place.
So they've switched over once again as our other OBS software decided to have a little paddy before we get that ready as well for the Grand Prix.
Was mine trying to have a paddy?
No, yours has been perfect today. It's mine that's having a paddy. Talk us through the replay, Megan. This is Johan Mir, and this is Jack Miller's mistake, where both Suzuki's passed him.
It seems like he went on to the curbs, maybe. I'm surprised he didn't get a track limits for that, actually.
Yeah, he just completely sent it up the inside without a care in the world, really, didn't he? Oh, what's happened?
Alex Marquez has passed Valentino Rossi.
In Valentino's last ever race here at Silverstone, he switches over once again. It's all eyes up front for the battle at Silverstone.
Quartararo's fastest in Sector 1, and it makes a difference because sometimes my laptop, it doesn't really like to be nice to me. That's nice. And before it decides to act up, I'm talking about the times where it just doesn't connect to the internet.
Keep on going then as well. Oh, side by side, Rins up the inside at Stowe Corner, passes Johan Mir. Mir can't find him back, so that's changed over at least one more position out there on the track, Megs.
Yeah, and further down the field we can see that everyone's improving from like 10 down, and it's apart from Lucanoa and Petrucci.
Yeah, they're all moving over, aren't they? Just finding the right positions on the track, finding the right solutions, and the right tyre strategy seems to be the key here today. Quartararo then leads this race by 1.6 seconds, but the two Espargaros are close together. 0.3 separate then the two Suzukis, Rins and Mir. Suzuki won their first race here in the new era of Suzuki, back with Maverick Vinales in 2017 in that wet race at Silverstone when it was almost Valentino Rossi's until he fell on the deck. I know.
Sad times.
Not great. Let's look at the gap Quartararo's got already. That man is an absolute Terminator robot. We thought Marc Marquez was a different breed. Quartararo is basically the next. He's Gen 3, yeah, 2.0. Completely the next generation, as well as 1.8 seconds now as the fans cheer him on. The successor to Valentino Rossi at Yamaha, El Diablo, Fabio Quartararo, here at Silverstone, leading as he shakes his M1 Yamaha down towards turn 1 at Copse Corner as well. What a fantastic race this is turning out to be as well. Lap 8 of 20 here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. 67,000 British fans in attendance, and they love every second of it. Jake Dixon is in last place for 19th overall for a Brit check. Kyle Crutchlow is P17, but it's all looking good. The honorary Brit, Jack Miller, is up in 7th place as well. The Australian Jack Miller.
Let's hope that Danny Rick this weekend doesn't become an honorary Brit.
Well, Danny Rick hope he doesn't, or hope he does, or for Beth, yeah.
No, for Beth's sake.
I was going to say.
Because she's going to disown him.
For many years, my favourite takeaway was a Loris Capirossi with garlic bread. He's here this weekend, Loris Capirossi. We've seen him in the paddock around about when BT have been there as well. So annoying we can't be on site for the British Grand Prix of MotoGP because we're here commentating on the F1 and British touring cars as well, everything under the sun. Commentating here today at the moment as we get ready.
There's a lot on.
There is a lot on today as well, and the Grand Prix coming up next of Formula One looks to be absolutely spectacular. You
Hold
do
on,
not want to miss that.
I'll check the weather. Hold on.
At Spa. I can check it on my phone. You keep talking.
I would, but I'm also kind of
Okay. So, look at this. Alex Rins diving on the inside of Paul Espargaro down to the loop. So that changed over. Look at that, though. Quartarara's going to have 61 points to Johan Mir. The gap in the title. That's unprecedented situations at the moment.
If Bagnaia wants to get a move on, he needs to move up a place.
Now we know how many rounds are left in this championship as well. We also know how little time is running out as well. As I said yesterday on the Grid Network show, it is closing down more and more to the point where are we actually going to see any sort of drama or situation happen like that? It's tense.
Do you know, yesterday, I forgot that you were doing the Grid Network thing. And I was just like, I was asking you a question. I was like, where is he?
You just didn't know where I was, did you?
Yeah, then I heard you outside. I was like, oh.
Megan, once again, no clue where I am. Replay on the board.
He once disappeared for a day and I didn't notice.
I was away. That's why I disappeared and you didn't notice. Quartarara's coming on. It's still all eyes on the deck here. Coming up on the Belgian Grand Prix. That's coming up in around about 13 minutes' time. El Diablo leading the way here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix of MotoGP. Megs, take us through the field.
Well, right now, first is Quartararo, second Alicia Spargaro, third is Alex Rins, fourth is Paul Spargaro, fifth is Mir, sixth Bagnaia, seventh Miller, 8th Alex Marquez, 9th Rossi, 10th Nakagami, 11th Binder, 12th Zarco, 13th Lucanoa, 14th Petrucci, 15th Bastianini, 16th Marini, 17th Crutchlow, 18th Oliveira, 19th Dixon, and retired or out, both of them mean the same thing, are Martin and Marquez.
Beth asking, is it wet in Belgium? I'd like to say hang on a minute. Jack Miller and Bagnaia battling together again over 6th and 7th positions. Beth asking, is it wet in Belgium? Well, let's put it this way. Noah has started building his ark. Yeah, he started building his ark. I think is the best situation. I have got my iPad here that I can have a look on for you as well. As we keep on situating here at the moment. And there goes Jack Miller diving up the inside down at Brooklands. Gets the move on Francesco Bagnaia. Bagnaia can't cut back, so the Aussie moves up into 6th position. Bagnaia, though, is desperately trying to hold him round the outside to try and find something on it as well. Trying to find some position or any position as we come down the National Straight. The start-finish area towards Copse Corner. A flat-out segment that even the motorcycle riders appreciate as one of the best corners on the calendar across any motorsport. Holding it together now. Pushing it together. 11 laps to go here at Silverstone. So we are half distance, actually. As Rossi up to 9th. Rossi passes Nakagami. Coming into Maggett and Beckett's. Here he is. The Doctor, Valentino Rossi, up into 9th place with a spectacular move. So, times are changing. As they come down, once again, the Hangers Straight towards Stowe Corner. Named so because of Stowe School, just behind the corner and the track as well. Literally, if you go onto the top, you can see the racetrack as well. You can always hear the cars in the area. Let's go over to Beth as well. Statement, not question. Oh, it's wet in Belgium. Sorry, it's because the chat is smaller at the moment than what we've seen. We understand it's going to be a standing start, but I don't know how. It's surely going to be a safety car start with at least the formation that's for F1.
Definitely.
But it is wet in Belgium.
It doesn't surprise me. I saw it this morning and it was like puddles at your feet.
However, it doesn't look that bad, actually, so that's good news. I'm looking forward to the Belgian Grand Prix.
Wait till the spray.
That's a good point. I am looking forward to the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm not looking forward to having to start under there. 12 degrees and wet as Formula 1 cars leave the pit lane. You can join us in 10 minutes on YouTube for the start of the pre-show as well. And that is going to be another great one as Mr. Saturday starts in the front row of the grid.
I'm just going to check, if there's any rain coming.
Well, we've also got up here in the comms box as well. It's raining now, Megan, so 40 minutes until lights out.
Heavy rain.
It's heavy rain now. All cars going to the grid on the full wet tyres. No one even going to the intermediates. We turn our attention back to MotoGP. Fabio Quartararo leading, Aleix Espargaro second. He's being closed up by Alex Rins. Alex Rins, of course, the previous winner of the British Grand Prix with that fantastic side-by-side move at the line to Marc Marquez as well. So that is still being El Diablo's maneuvers that Rins picked up as well back there in 2019. We're understanding as well that the track is very, very wet, but they're all taking it very slowly out there in the comms box because they don't want any situation where they could have a crash and not have to start the race. So everyone's being very careful out there at the moment for this race as well. As the trophy for the Hungarian Grand Prix in the back of Alpine's garage, so they're ready for it. 10 to go here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Not much is happening actually here, which is a surprise because usually we, as you know, Megan, we get a more exciting run here at Silverstone. There's Marc Marquez's bike just parked at the back as Nakagami's coming up and passes Rossi. And Aprilia Racing has never taken a podium in the MotoGP era. And right now, Aleix Espargaro is running in P2 and could look to do so.
Let's hope they decide today's the day that we take a podium.
There's a lot of spray down into the comms as well. And Hamilton's aquaplaning as well.
There's things on the camera as well. It's just, that's not good.
Chances of that race happening on time? I think there's more chance of Christmas coming early.
I've got the Met Office.
Yeah, there's more.
This is the F1 track.
Yeah, there's more chance of Christmas coming early for that F1 race. But meantime, look at this. Aleix Espargaro is being closed up by Alex Rins as well as they come into the brakeman zone for Brooklands. And Aleix very late on the brakes. Yeah, I thought so. Aleix very late on the brakes as well. Pole's coming back into this, Megan, I can tell you. Pol Espargaro is definitely coming back into this one for a title fight.
Let's hope that he does.
I mean, for a race fight, not a title fight. Hey, oh, look at this.
I would love to see that.
There's a lot of spray.
You can't see.
Yeah. Anyway, so that Formula One race is a big if at the moment, if that's ever going to happen. The cars are going to the grid, and there is so much spray and so much water.
It's like thick fog.
It's Fuji 07 levels I'm getting right now. It's unusual to see that amount of rain in a European race. Usually we get that in Japan or so forth. So, yeah, a lot of rain out there on the track. And there's a lot of spray as well down the Hangar Straight. They will not start this race on time. I can tell you that right now. It probably will be a safety car start. It's a 44-lap race as well at the moment as well for F1. Hamilton said there's no grip out there as well. But anyway, back to the MotoGP action. That's what we're all here for. As Aleix goes wide! Aleix has gone wide! The tyres are gone!
Come on.
And Alex Rins takes second place!
Oh, no.
Aleix went too deep, coming into Stowe, and his rear tyres are blistered like mad.
How has that happened?
Too much of the left running, I think. So that's it. Done, finito. And he's now going to have to go back through the pits. He's now going to have to go back through the rest of the 9 laps as well, trying to hold it back. Alex Rins goes to second place and sets after El Diablo as well. The previous winner of the British Grand Prix, Alex Rins, is hunting down the championship leader, Fabio Quartararo, as well. It's all eyes up front here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix in front of 67,000 fans. And now Pol Espargaro is right in the back of his brother. Did Aleix go too early and use up the tyres? Everybody else started to come into play. Aleix, medium front, medium rear. How on earth is Pol Espargaro still going? He's got a soft rear tyre in as well. That degrades 1,000,000 times faster as well, we know, Megan.
I tell you what, I'm surprised that there hasn't been any more crashes since Martin and Marquez.
It's been quite a clean, calm race, but Alex Marquez might put in for that one as well as he goes after Francesco Bagnaia as well with 9 laps to go. He's still trying to come down as well. Can't find a position, can't find an attack as they come round the last corner. Alex Marquez has got the slipstream coming towards Copse Corner. Into turn 1 we go. Alex looks to the inside. Francesco Bagnaia defends the inside line. And Alex Marquez can't do a thing there as well.
Though you can see he's trying to go up outside the...
Is he going to do a Barry Sheen?
Inside.
He's done a Barry Sheen! At the inside! At Nuggets and Beckett's, a spectacular move from from Alex Marquez on Francesco Bagnaia. That was such an absolute Barry Sheen manoeuvre.
That was just like, okay, I'll back off. No, I won't.
Echoes of Barry Sheen and Kenny Roberts here at Silverstone in 1977. Right there at Maggots and Beckett's. A fantastic manoeuvre by Alex Marquez. Definitely on contention for move of the season, I think. In a disappearing hole. Fantastic.
Right. Oh, also, I think it may be showers as well during the middle of the
It
race.
is, and the cars are doing multiple reconnaissance laps, but there's no grip out there, they say, and there's actually no. There's too much spray, so it looks to be a safety car start for the Formula One. 4 minutes time, our pre-show starts. We join live at 5 to the hour with all of the live news straight after the MotoGP. That's why we're updating you on what's happening in Formula One as well as we go, because we tail off straight into that following this broadcast.
I'm trying to get the map thing up.
Look at Fabio Quartararo, Mr. Consistent.
Oh, jeez.
2 minute, 2 minute dead.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's
Lap after lap.
That's impressive.
Bar lap 1, which was a standing start. Sergio Perez has crashed. Sergio Perez has crashed. And we're watching him now. Where has he gone? No, that's Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez has crashed on his way to the grid in the Formula One Belgium Grand Prix. So in spray conditions, Sergio Perez has crashed. We just wait to see where that is. There he is. Oh, he's not going to start this race. He's probably taken off the front suspension. So Sergio Perez will not start the Belgian Grand Prix.
There's smoke coming up.
Yeah. I think he's taken off the front suspension. He's taken off the front wheels.
That might be a delay as well.
Yeah, so Sergio Perez, he's gone off at Le Com. He will not start the Belgian Grand Prix for Formula One.
I'd be impressed if he did.
Yeah, look, no, out. Look, suspension off and everything. So that's it. Look, he's out. Perez is out of the race then. A miserable weekend gets worse for him. So, yeah, Sergio Perez will not start the Belgian Grand Prix for Formula One. Meantime, in the MotoGP's British Grand Prix, we find as well, with 7 laps to go, it's getting close on the front as well.
Look at that. It's just...
Yeah, well, this race won't start. The Belgian Grand Prix will not start. I can tell you that now. We've had a car off the way to the grid. That's not
even racing conditions. That was just normal conditions of just driving.
Okay, so while we can still see Alex Rins battling with Alicia Spargo, what happened to Sergio Perez was he got on the exit curb and just aquaplaned off into the wall down at the Le Com chicane.
There was nothing he could even
Nothing
do.
he could do about it. So there's a lot of standing water there as well. So Perez probably won't start this race. Back to the MotoGP action here at the moment as well.
Tell you what, that's going to be a fun race if it starts.
Yeah,
Very action-packed.
Join us for that in following this race here in MotoGP. I kind of wish we were live right now for F1. It's calling all this action on the way to the grid because Perez has gone off into the wall. But at least we could tell you about it when everyone is watching our MotoGP coverage. You see, if he straightened that wheel, he probably would have got out. So Nakagami, by the way, in this British Grand Prix for MotoGP, Nakagami's got a track limits warning. That could affect him. He's down in 9th place at the moment. Fabio Quartararo has checked out here at the British Grand Prix. He is 3.5 seconds ahead, but Rins, Alicia Spargo and Paul Espargaro and Jack Miller all still in a battle for 2nd and 3rd places here at the British Grand Prix.
Do you know the only one who's improving?
Who?
Luca Noah.
Luca Noah, massively improving. You're right there.
He's the only one that's actually improving, and he's just past Zarco, so that just proves that he's improving.
Aiki Luca Noah goes up there on there with the Tech 3, goes up into 11th place. Great little job there as well.
Okay, that's quite trippy there. I'm just looking at the F1 thing, and I keep thinking that crane's going to hit Sergio over the head.
It's higher up than it looks. So Perez won't start the Belgian Grand Prix. Drama before the lights have even gone out over there as well. So that's definitely going to be a race you do not want to miss following the MotoGP. But it's getting tense out here at the moment in MotoGP's British Grand Prix. They're coming up together once again. Oh, and wide! Pole goes wide! And through goes Jack Miller! Down at Stowe Corner! Pole does exactly what Aleix did, and he went straight on, and Jack Miller's up into 4th place.
That's good for Miller, not for...
Bad for the poles.
Yeah.
Bad for the Espargaros, yeah.
The Espargaros were having a good start, but now it's kind of disintegrating slowly.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, they keep on going. Say again?
You're right for the suspension.
So, doesn't look like that F1 race is going to start on time, so that gives us a little bit more lee room as well over here.
I'll give it maybe a 20-minute fix-up for that barrier because it looks like it's going to be a bit more difficult than it looks to be to repair.
Just gone live on YouTube for the F1 pre-show as well. The first 24 minutes is pre-recorded, so take it with a pinch of salt here. As with 6 laps to go, this race is closing up.
And it looks like... Who's that there? Alicia Spargo has looks to be doing okay actually. Trying to get around the inside of Rins right now, though can't seem to get through. I think it's because of how wide. That's the word. I was thinking thick. They're wide for trackers.
Too wide, can't get through, can't find a point through either. Gotta find the right position on the circuit. As now off goes, and once again, Brad Binder making a mistake, and through goes Francesco Bagnaia. Binder goes back on the inside. Well, that's twice Bagnaia has been done with the same move down at Maggots and Beckett's today.
Maybe he's not having a good day.
Yeah, Binder sent it up the inside and completely didn't he? That was fantastic.
I'm just going to do that little picking thing of mine.
Absolutely, yeah, fantastic little race there as well. As mine and Megan's pre-show VT intro to the Belgian Grand Prix is airing now on YouTube. That is another classic if you want to have a look at that as well. Me and Megan go to a woodland area and basically chat about the season while it's very, very windy. Back to the action though with 5 laps to go here as well.
For me.
What about Mia?
I just picked him. So, not looking good?
Oh, he's down to P6, and here he is actually on the screen. Oh, he's just changing that to well. Here's El Diablo as well. George Russell says visibility is very poor, even when I was about 6 seconds behind the car ahead. So, yeah, chances of that race happening in Formula 1 is looking at... What they could do, Megs, is just delay the start until the conditions get better. So more delays.
I won't do that.
Yeah, well, we'll find out soon enough. As soon as we've finished on air here for MotoGP...
They'll probably just delay it to fix a barrier.
No, they'll delay the start so that there's no spray. Although Russell's on intermediates. I can see, Russell's on inters. Okay.
And Russell seems to be doing okay, so inters have a way to go.
However, if it is a safety car formation lap start, or they just start the race behind the safety car, it will have to be full wets by the rules. Back to the front then in MotoGP. Alex Rins is P2. Aleix Espargaro P3. Jack Miller P4. Paul Espargaro P5. Johan Mir P6. It looks like it's just between the Suzuki of Rins, the Aprilia of Aleix, and the Ducati of Miller in that battle for 2, 3 and 4, with Quartararo checked out by 3.7 seconds at the front as well. Another unbelievable run there.
And if I'm looking at this, it seems like we're getting the first sector times in now. Ooh,
23.5.
Doing what? Zarco passes Nakagami
so
down.
Nakagami dropping even further back down the order as well.
No one's improving.
Beth says as well, looks like full yellow single file rolling start. Yeah, it could be as well.
No one's actually... Oh, only 3 people have improved. That's Marini, Bastronini and Oliver... No, not Oliver. It's Crutchlow.
Crutchlow on his one-off appearance on the factory M1. That run taken, I think, at Mazzano. No, it said Mazzano Morbidelli. So that's not. Is that the next round? Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah. No, it's Aragon next, isn't it? I can't remember.
When's Salvadori coming back?
Salvadori was back this weekend, but retired from the weekend because of his ankle injury. He was just in too much pain, so he's back next time out permanently.
That's
Romain Grosjean's at Spa this weekend. How much is he going to be watching around just thinking that everyone's got to be okay? And Marquez, Alex Marquez has got a track limits warning. Now, if he does that one more time, he'll have to take a long lap penalty. So that's crucial for him as well with 4 to go.
Let's hope he keeps to the rules then. So that means that there's 8 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And it seems like Sector 3 is the longest sector.
The tents on the grid as well. We've been treated. I thought Hungary was one of the greatest races ever. We've got a wet Belgian Grand Prix. The racing gods are literally just tantalising us this year with good races.
It's like...
Is this our third wet race? Third or 4th?
I'm not sure. Third, I think?
It's third, yeah.
Third.
Emilia-Romagna, Hungary, Belgium. Belgium's our first proper wet race this year, though.
Yeah, it's like hammering it down. Right, so, number 30. Who's number 30?
That is Takiki Nakagami.
Well, I just saw him going by. He seems to be doing quite well, actually.
Well, he is being passed, remember, and he has it by Zarco, Bagnaia, and Petrucci. So the two Ducatis have just got past him as well as Petrucci looking to the inside of Bagnaia.
I bet he's thinking, right, gotta go hunt down some people.
Yeah, just sort of revving up, revs are up, ready for a start, all that lot.
Oh, and Crutchlow passes Rossi. Rossi's going down the order very slowly.
Valentino started this race P8, has now dropped to P17.
Come on, load of people crash out so we can get back up.
Chance that 200th podium looking more likely to be at Mazzano, isn't it? On his home track. And he gets 2 home track races now. San Marino Grand Prix Then we go off to Texas, and then we come back to Mazzano for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Hey.
So he gets 2 home races to say goodbye.
That's 2 chances.
So planned. So planned. The second one will be the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. As Binder, up to 7th, passes Alex Marquez. So they've switched over once again. Oh, and Petrucci passes Bagnaia. So Petrucci on the Tech 3 passes Bagnaia on the Ducati. Here is El Diablo on his way to win the British Grand Prix. Fabio Quartararo. He's running well here at the moment as the clouds start to come in over Silverstone. Looking nice.
Do you know, I always get concerned because of Nicholas Quartararo wins. I always get concerned it'll catch on something and he'll crash.
I do. I'm always worried about that.
I'm really hoping that never happens.
I'm surprised he's allowed to wear it, if I'm honest with you, because usually he's not. Nakagami has repassed Bagnaia, so they switched over.
I wish he would tuck it into his thing as well.
Rossi's down to 18th now. Oliveira's passed him. So Rossi's having a nightmare of a race here at Silverstone again for the British Grand Prix.
Luca Noah, track limits warning.
Now, look, he's P9, so that risks points as well. Binder passes Mia. Binder's up to 6th place now, passing Johan Mir.
Well, let's hope he's having a good day because I picked Mir, remember?
Yeah. And Alex Rins in P2, closing now, 3.5 seconds for 2 to go.
Oh, it's just... This is actually slower than that.
Alex Marquez diving up the inside of Johan Mir, up for P7.
It took me a second to figure out what you were pointing at there. I was like, what?
Pointing to the front as well.
Bastianini passes...
Oh, and yeah. Bastianini just getting through the back, further back,
I can't find Bastianini.
Bagnaia. So Bagnaia dropping down now as Bastianini moves up into the positions you just saw at the timing screens.
Paul Bastianini.
It's all switching up nice here at the moment, isn't it?
Now's a bad time to tell you that I also picked Bastianini.
Probably. We will be on with Formula One in a few moments' time when me and Megan will cross over to that side of the commentary. Ian Birch will join us then as well. Oh, and Crutchlow's down to 17th place. Oliveira's passed him. So they've switched over again on the screens.
Come on, Rossi.
Two to go. As Mia tries to go around the outside.
Oh.
Mia's under pressure.
That's
Luca
way too
Noah.
close.
Luca Noah sends it out the inside, down in the Vale chicane and gets ahead of Johan Mir.
Now is not the time to do things like that.
Tension rises, doesn't it? A little bit of a scary moment as well. You've just got to sit back, hold your breath and count to 10.
Do you know, sometimes I just get so stressed about MotoGP and how they have...
News bulletin. 6 different manufacturers inside the top 6, and he's right. Yamaha, Suzuki, Aprilia, Ducati, Honda, KTM.
It's like a rainbow.
So 6 different manufacturers inside the top 6 is fantastic. 7 and 8 unfortunately can't get in there with Petronas, Pramac as well.
Hold on, what about Honda?
Yep, Honda. Repsol Honda, look. That's
LCR
Honda, that's the other team. That's customer, not factory.
The top 8 are different teams.
Top 8 are different teams, good spot. Top 6 are different manufacturers.
Actually, I
as
think
well.
Top 9. No, top...
Martin Brundle is standing in Sergio Perez's empty grid slot. Well, now he's talking about the diamond grooves that are cut into the circuit on the first 11 rows so that you get a great start. So they could have a standing start if they wanted to here at Spa. It's a question of what happens when they get to Eau Rouge.
Marini passes Bagnaia, and that must be nightmare on your shoes.
It's like the chopping board we've got on the back. It's those type of rivets.
Ooh,
So it destroys your tyres. Bagnaia moves up into 14th, passes Luca Marini. Last lap the call. We haven't even noticed up here. The race had suddenly got interesting after a bit of a dull middle half as well. This is the last lap of the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. Who is going to be victorious? We're going to find out ASAP. It's going to be Quartararo. Rins second. Paul Spargo third.
Bastianini passes Nakagami.
Quartararo slowed down, actually, so now he's in the same shot as the top 4. That's a close one. So they're still closing up now.
Still, it's a top 10. That's just like... They're different teams.
Yeah, top 10 different teams. Top 10 all different actions as well.
Actually, come to think of it...
Oh, diving up the inside for third place. Oh, that's Jack Miller. Ducati going through. And Aprilia don't want to let it go. They bang wheels. once again.
Come on.
Aleix wants a podium. Aprilia wants a podium.
Yes, back through.
He's got it.
Yes.
Up into third place goes Aleix Espargaro. Down in towards Brooklands on the Wellington Straight though. Jack Miller's going to have him. Trying to look around the outside. I think Aleix might have this, Megs. I think he's got it.
It's like 3 corners left. He has to.
Fabio Quartararo coming through for his 8th MotoGP victory and his first here at Silverstone. El Diablo dominates Silverstone and wins the British Grand Prix in dramatic style. Alex Rins is second and Aprilia get their first ever podium in the Premier class with Aleix Espargaro finally getting on the podium for only the second time in his career. But it's Aprilia's first ever podium in the Premier class. Fantastic!
That was impressive, and it's definitely gonna be an amazing day for Aprilia right now. They must be just like jumping for joy.
Carl Crutchlow finishes 17th, Valentino Rossi's 18th. But El Diablo wins. Fabio Quartararo wins the British Grand Prix. Alex Rins second. Aleix Espargaro third. Jack Miller fourth. Paolo Espargaro's fifth. Brad Binder sixth. Ike Lucanoa seventh. Alex Marquez eighth. Johan Mir ninth. Daniel Petrucci rounds out the top 10. Then it's Johan Zarco, Enea Bastianini, Takiki Nakagami, Francesco Bagnaia, followed then by Luca Marini as well. Miguel Oliveira, Carl Crutchlow, Valentino Rossi, and Jake Dixon. Out of the race, Jorge Martin and Marc Marquez. Megs, sum up the race as we go off for Formula One.
It was exciting at the end.
Crying is the mode for Aleix Espargaro. It's the first ever podium for Aprilia in MotoGP. They're delighted. Suzuki back on the podium and Monster Energy Yamaha win again with Fabio Quartararo. Join us next time out when MotoGP returns. But right now, turn over to Formula One.